Vice President Harris not getting a big bounce in the polls after the Democratic convention, but she is widening the gender gap in several polls. She leads former President Trump by 6 points when you look at likely voters in a nationwide ABC News Ipsos poll, and that's the same as before the convention. She says that the race will be close until the very end.
So let's not pay too much attention to those polls, because as unions and labor knows best, we know what it's like to be the underdog. And we are the underdog in this race.
All right. Is that true? Let's bring in Kellyanne Conway, former senior counselor to President Trump, now president of KA Consulting and a Fox News contributor, and Tim Ryan, former Ohio Democratic congressman. Great to have you both here. It was great to be on set with both of you in Milwaukee. And, you know, here we go, Kellyanne. Harris says she's the underdog. She's ahead in the battleground polls. I don't know how much stock anybody puts in nationwide likely voter polls at this point, but in the battlegrounds, she's ahead by slim margins, except for Wisconsin, where she's ahead, I think, by 3 points.
Sure. So Trump won by 77,000 votes across 3 states in 2016. Biden, 44,000 votes across 3 states, one of which was the same. We know it's going to be tighter than a tick, but she's not the underdog. She's the incumbent. Donald Trump's the insurgent. He's the change maker. How do we know that? She's Vice President Kamala Harris. She flies around on Air Force Two. If the Democrats dump Biden, Trump and his folks need to dump Biden. This is the Harris White House, the Harris border, Harris inflation, Harris and Hamas and Israel, Harris in Ukraine, Harris letting Iran have its way, Harris with the crime surge. She's the incumbent. You can't pretend away the last 3.5 years. And they're trying to do that. Even James Carville in his New York Times piece isn't even letting Kamala be Kamala. She's telling Kamala, don't you dare be Biden. And the whole race is about Trump, Trump, Trump. Wow, not even her gender, her race, her record, her rhetoric, her inspiration, her aspiration, nothing about her. Just go against Trump. I think that's going to come up short. And the reason she didn't get a bounce is because she was the 14th most persuasive, memorable, compelling speaker at her own convention. For all the hoopla and hot air, there wasn't a single swing voter in there.
All right,
and last point, the Wall Street Journal poll tells the tale. She's down 10 points from where Joe Biden was among black voters, and she's still 6 points down from where he was among Hispanics. She doesn't have the Biden coalition.
Well, we're going to put that back together, Tim Ryan, and she's doing Joe Biden in 2020 had stronger numbers with black, Latino, and young voters. And now she has, and then we saw Trump really pick up a lot of momentum when he was running against Biden with those voters. And he's still holding that momentum, but she's cutting into it. How do you see that playing out, and how pivotal are those 3 groups in this election?
Well, they're going to be huge. That's part of the coalition, and Kellyanne can wish it away all she wants. But this is the Obama coalition. This was the Biden coalition. I think it'll be the Biden coalition on steroids. The one thing that's being left out of these numbers is the amount of new registered voters, women, black women, young people. The fact that these groups are more energized than the Republicans are. That's not been to our advantage in the last cycle. So you're seeing a very energized coalition. You heard her speech yesterday in Pittsburgh. Strong support of unions, strong support of manufacturing. She's got a good record to run on. We're finally reshoring jobs in the United States after guys like me in Congress complaining about it for 40 or 50 years, globalization, automation. Now we're building chips. Now we're building electric vehicles. Now we're building batteries. Now we have an infrastructure bill, all stuff that Donald Trump did not do. The Biden administration is doing. Kamala will run on that, and I think that puts her in a really good position to win.
Kellyanne, she's definitely trying to get into Trump's space, and she's going to go to Wisconsin and talk about small business, or New Hampshire, excuse me, talk about small business and entrepreneurs. Now, when I talk to small business owners and entrepreneurs, what they want is lower regulation. They want the government out of their business. So I don't know what she's going to say about small business and as entrepreneurs. What do you think that message is? And is she stepping in his space on that, and no tax on tips and a lot of other things?
Sure. I mean, she's disavowing herself from Biden and trying to be a copycat of Trump. That's pretty rich. But she is doing something Hillary Clinton failed to do in 2016 against Trump the first time, which is go to those places and spaces where Trump made it competitive, in large part because he talked about border security and bringing back manufacturing and, to Tim's point, job creation in some of those industries. Hillary ignored a lot of the states. She's going there, but her message will feel stale, if not phony and weak, for a very simple reason. She recently came out with a tax plan that included 65% on state tax, death tax. That'll hurt a lot of those small businesses. 44% or so on capital gains, obviously unrealized gains being taxed. So that hurts all these business owners. So I give her credit for the old college try, but it's going to come off as phony. I don't know how it's going to translate onto the debate stage a week from now, because you have to look authentic and comfortable in your skin. And this is a very sweet spot, a natural habitat for Trump.
Yeah, taxing unrealized gains is an interesting twist. I hope you guys will come back, because we're going to do a big run up to the debate and talk about the prep on both sides, and we hope you'll join us for that. Good to see you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.